campaigns, and all of them only lasted a few sessions, and it got to the point where we'd be meeting like every month or every few months to play, and then they just kind of fizzled out because people got busy, so I never got to like go very far into them.
Okay, so before we get any further, I had a nice little intro here for you. Our next guest is coming, so rejoice. She's smart, talented, and has quite the voice. Before we begin, let's get some introductions out of the way. Tell me in chat your name and pronouns, okay?
Yes. And that could be Emothic or Emothic, you know. However you want to pronounce it.
I always think Emothic, because that's just funnier.
Yeah, I knew what I was signing up for, and I picked that name, but...
Good. So, how's your day been so far? You said you were going on a hike?
Yeah, it's been really good. I woke up this morning and really wanted to go hiking somewhere about an hour away, and I was like, okay, I've got to do this quick so that I have plenty of time to hike and then leave early and make it back in time for the stream. And so we went to a forest, and we're hiking around there looking for mushrooms, specifically morel mushrooms. I couldn't find any, but
Ooh.
it was really nice because at the end of the hike there was a waterfall at the park, and we were able to go and like wade in the river with our shoes off for about 30 minutes. There's some kids swimming in the spring beneath it and whatnot, but it was really nice because it was pretty quiet, and it wasn't a river where like it seemed like you would really have to worry about people fishing in it because there weren't really anything but super small fish. So I was like, oh, nice. I probably don't have to worry about stepping on a fish hook or anything.
Or accidentally catching a fish hook to the face by accident.
Yeah, you never want to get a fish hook in your feet. But I was like, okay, we got plenty of time to head back now. We just need to take this trail. And then, like, the map was confusing because it didn't have a compass rose on it, because orientating on park maps is kind of unclear. And we ended up taking away that took like 30 minutes instead of 10. I was like, oh no. I did some power walking.
Well, I appreciate the expedient return.
It was so uphill. I was like, my calves are on fire.
Oh.
It wasn't too bad though.
Oh,
exercise is good.
Staying in shape and all that fun stuff. Gotta get the cardio in, if nothing else.
Yeah, I was like, man, I shouldn't have done this right after I did light whipping yesterday, because that was enough of a wrist and a calf workout. My legs were not having it, and tomorrow I've got to do my physical labor job, and they're going to be screaming at me then. I'm like, well, good thing I can rest this weekend.
Light whipping? You're whipping some light?
You know that I do that? Yeah, no. So it's like, it's a, I guess you could say kind of like a rave toy, for lack of a better description.
Oh,
but
I think a friend
it's
actually.
Essentially... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I'm trying to piece it together as you're talking.
Okay, well, there's all sorts of different, rave toys, I guess, that people can use and dance with. There's, like, some people do hooping, which is, like, hula hoops that have LED lights. Some people do gloving, where they have, LED lights at the fingertips of gloves that they wear, so they can do, like, mesmerizing stuff with that. Light whipping is essentially, if you think of, like, fiber optic strands that can be in, like, I don't know, Christmas ornaments and stuff that change color, they're made out of just really long, thin, hundreds of, like, well, maybe not hundreds, about 100, like, fiber optic strands. And then they're attached to essentially like a flashlight hub that shoots light down the strands and helps them change color. And then you could just kind of dance with it.
That's kind of cool. One of my oldest friends, her name is actually legally Nyx Savage, and she did.
Her name? It cut out for me. Sorry.
Her name is Nyx Savage, like Nyx, the god of darkness or goddess of darkness, and the night.
That's formidable.
Yes, She's a very cool person, but she did hooping, and then she had like a fire stick, and then she had one other one, which I can't remember.
I would love to learn how to do fire spinning, but I feel like that's something I need like private property to perform on, because I don't think I can really go to like any parking lot and just like start spinning fire without someone being called to tell me to leave.
Yeah, actually. She was just so brazen it didn't matter. There are some guys party at fall with dry leaves everywhere. Just light that shit up. Nothing.
I fear nature and what can happen with runaway fires, so I'd be probably overly cautious about making sure that like I was very responsible the whole process. I'd want to be ready to extinguish it.
Yeah, no, thankfully nothing bad ever happened. Although she did burn me once, and I will never let her forget about that.
That's what happens when you play with fire.
Yeah, I should have listened to her. Right before she started, she was like, "Alright, if this ever falls, let it drop. It's like a knife. You don't try to catch it as it's falling."
Sorry, Mike's cutting out again. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Right before what? Yes.
Yeah, like don't try to catch it if it falls. It's like a knife.
Oh.
It's gonna be a bad thing if you try to catch it. Just let it hit the ground. We can pick it up afterwards. Yeah. It's not gonna break. And I did not listen to her, and I accidentally tried to catch it when I noticed it was falling, and I'm like, oh no, bad idea.
Yeah, certain things you have instincts to catch when they fall, and certain things you have to kind of unlearn that reflex, so you don't hurt yourself. Yeah. Nothing's worse than like working around machinery or stuff where like people try and catch things and get severely hurt because they want to protect the item that's falling. It's like, no, that's never worth your fingers or your wrist or your arm.
Yeah, and chances are it's less than like a hammer or like a screwdriver. Like, that's not gonna break. It's gonna hit the ground and bounce off. Like, what?
Yeah. And like at the end of the day, if it breaks, it's infinitely better that breaks than you.
Exactly.
Like, if it's an object, it's better for that to break, even if it's like expensive, than to get hurt anyway, because health insurance is expensive and lack of health insurance is expensive. So
I wouldn't know. I am Canadian.
I envy you.
I've heard enough stories though.
Should have known from the flannel shirt.
Exactly. No, I have a friend in the States that she talks about her experiences with, like, she's trans, so like the amount of regular shenanigans she has to deal with insurance is like elevated to 11. So every other day it's like, oh god, this fucking hospital doesn't accept this one, but this one does, and it's 4 hours away, but it's the only one, and I'm just like,
dentists are so much worse too.
Oh, I'm just like, oh, I feel so bad for you. The urge, the Canadian urge to go, ha, I have it better than you. I have to I have to push that down deep. So.
I thought the Canadian urge was to feel sad for other people and extend kindness.
Not me, I'm an asshole. I try to do that anyway. It's hard though. On the internet, you get kind of inundated with American superiority, for lack of a better word, and it's like, finally I get to jab back and say something I'm better at, and it's like, oh no.
I think I'm losing some of what you're saying again.
Oh, sorry about that. It was like,
I'm watching your model on your stream, and that's helping me to know when you're talking and when I can hear you. Like, sorry. Wait, it's lighting up, but I don't hear anything.
Is it cutting out for anybody else out there? I'm gonna see if chat knows what's going on.
Maybe it's just Discord. I don't know.
It could be just Discord. Discord can be a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
We're gonna give the old mic a re-plug in and see if that helps.
I always remember having role-playing groups and stuff or calls where they're like, you need to leave and rejoin, and then it would like magically fix it for 5 minutes, and then it would go out again.
Better?
Yes.
Good. I think it's just this mic. For some reason, like, it's a fancy, like, one of those Blue Yeti mics. Like, it's a really good mic, but for some reason the cord just does not plug all the way in. If I breathe wrong, it seems to pop halfway out and then skip around.
I have a Blue Yeti mic as well, and I've had some issues with it. Not with getting it to stay connected, but like trying to do things to make it sound good, and the filters I'm applied messing with the audio a lot. Like I would try and put noise gates and stuff on it, and then like people just like couldn't hear me when I got to be a certain amount of loud that wasn't peaking. So I had to like really mess with those settings so that it wouldn't just cut me off all the time.
I should probably do that as well.
I shouldn't be looking at Twitter while we're talking. Twitter's a mess today. What is going on?
Well,
I don't know.
I was going to ask what's going on, but
days.
I mean, just like the
It's
world,
a general vibe.
Just a general vibe, yeah.
It's a vibe, yeah. You know when you're like on Twitter one of those days and you just like do a few scrolls and you see like 5 really sad posts or really angry posts, and then you're like, is this the vibe today?
Yeah, I tend to either turn it off or go, all right, I'm going to go look at somebody else's feed. Maybe I'll go see what this person's up to. I know they're generally positive.
Mm-hmm. It's just sometimes when like one event happens or a few events happen, I think, and everyone's like offering their reaction to it. So instead of just seeing the one bad event, you see like hundreds, especially if it's in like a certain space that you follow, like VTuber spaces.
Yeah. Especially given with what's happening over there in the States and generally the world. Ugh.
Yeah. I'm all for like confronting things so that you know what's going on, staying up to date, but I also fully respect and think it's very important to disconnect when you need to.
Yes,
for your own sanity.
I think we're too hard on ourselves. We try to say that we're keeping up with things, like we're being a positive member of the global community. This is a good thing we're doing, but really it's like we already know what's going on. We don't have to keep looking. We don't have to see people's reactions. Like we can just stop. We know what's happening.
We're also getting news and updates at such like an unnaturally high frequency in this day and age too, compared to like how any previous time used to receive like news.
I remember
like we need to sail first, we need to take a pony first, or like we need the paper, or literally anything else like village telephone. But now it's just like there's one story you know that's happening, and then you get 20 updates a day, but they're not really updates, they're just updates enough to make you think about it.
Yeah, not real updates. It's like, well, it turns out that this person that was part of this horrific crime was this guy in real life, and he was a good person. And it's like, that's not really
sorry,
an
you
update.
just cut out again?
Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
It was like, basically just nonsensical updates. It's like, this person that was involved in this crime did this before they were either dead or incarcerated. It's like, that's not really an update. That doesn't change what happened.
And then they're like, hear what this person's sister said. And it's like, oh my gosh.
We go now
family testimony. I'm like,
We go now to our instant reaction with Will Smith. It's like, who cares what he thinks? Do you think he's a fucking policy expert? It doesn't matter.
Every celebrity's reaction.
Well,
it's definitely a lot. It's important to know when to take a step back. I always feel so much better after I like unplug for a few days, or to spend most of the day outside.
Yeah, go touch grass, as they say on the internet.
Yeah, really. Don't be afraid of the outdoors. Bring some bug spray, bring some sunscreen.
Yeah.
Drink water. You'll be fine.
Make sure you get lots of water. Speaking of which, I should do that before I forget again, because
Good idea.
I have been sitting here talking for like 3 hours and I haven't grabbed any water. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Alright then, sorry about that.
No need to apologize. You gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Need lots of breaks.
I am looking forward to getting affiliate eventually, but mainly because so people can finally remember or remind me to drink water.
What? Yeah, no kidding. That's an important feature.
I would straight up forget.
I was gonna follow you when you were gone to like save myself the embarrassment, but then I was like, nah, I'll follow you when you're back.
Nice. That way I can give you your welcome limerick.
Ooh, a gif.
Yes.
I don't know why, but that gif of the muscular demon dude reminded me of that Scooby-Doo movie, The Vampires.
Yes. Fuck, that was a good one.
And what was it? The Hex Girls?
The Hex Girls. Gonna set a spell on you. Oh, damn, the whole song's coming back to my head. I need to stop right there before I end up singing the entire thing. Oh, hey, Zozo.
I liked that movie.
Oh,
I
yes.
like Scooby-Doo. It's kind of hit or miss for me.
Oh, and now I need 2 limericks now. Alright, I'll start with the first one. Hello, hello, oh child of mine. I hope you're well, I hope you're fine. If you're sad and filled with woe, I hope I can help that and make it go. And have your world start to shine.
Oh.
Last limerick rhyme didn't work out so well. But, and the second one for Zozo here, I very much appreciate you stopping by. How are you doing, new person in here? Did you bring with you an ice-cold beer? If not, that's sad, but perfectly alright. I won't consider it a personal slight. It's just been, well, quite the nasty year.
I'm totally gonna have a beer tonight. I was thinking about bringing one for the stream, but I was like, at 3 p.m., I don't know if I'm ready yet.
I have a couple in the fridge waiting for later. I had the exact same thought.
Best.
I'm like, it's my birthday. I can wake up and have a beer whenever.
Happy birthday, by the way. I completely didn't even wish you happy birthday. Oh my gosh.
No, it was like I woke up and I'm like, it's my birthday. I can drink whenever I damn well please. I'm gonna have a birthday
Exactly.
at 9 a.m. if I want to, and I just didn't.
You might just feel like shit the whole day.
Yeah. Well, that would happen if I had more than one, but just one, and just working. Well, whenever you get a happy birth, appreciate it. Looking forward to our.
If I drink early, I just feel sleepy and like tired the rest of the day.
Really? Oh. I just get so jazzed up. Whenever I start drinking, it's like I want to drink either a lot more, or I want to get like pizza. I want to go on an adventure. There's
You're
stuff
kind of
that
like what's it called? Like a munchy high, but I don't know, a crunchy drunk. What would that even be called?
I just am munchy drunk. I'm an adventurous.
I'm definitely a happy drunk. I'm a bit of a lightweight, so I have to be careful because like if anyone ever like invites me to hang out, I need to like moderate how much I consume to make sure I don't like try and be funny when I'm not. Like I need to take my sips carefully, but yeah, I feel you. I'm a happy drunk, so when I get drunk I just want to like tell people I love them.
I know exactly how you feel. I have been told that I am annoying because I am both overly polite and a little too open with saying
What?
overly polite.
Oh.
Like, oh hey, sorry, I noticed that you were standing in front of the bathroom. I needed to use it for the last half hour, but I didn't want to say anything.
Might cut out again.
Oh, sorry about that. Just annoyingly polite and just generally irritating in a positive way, at least. So I count that as a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to be overly nice and overly polite than like angry or really sad.
Yes. I think sad is the worst. It's just like
Gross sobbing. I can't hear you if you're talking.
I accidentally clicked the wrong button. A momento. Ugh. right, there we go. Much better. So, getting back onto the topic at hand, we're talking about games and games that mean a lot to us. I got Linen or Ox or whoever her many names rambling about video games for a while. So what is there any video games in your mind that really stick out that had an effect on you personally or stick out?
Well, I never played multiplayer games with people really until I got my PC like a year ago. The only other online multiplayer game I played was like Little Big Planet on the PlayStation 3. So every other game I played before that was either a game I was playing by myself or in like the living room with my friends.
Oh, the couch co-op.
Yeah, the couch co-op. I don't know. So I think most of my experiences are probably less about playing other games with friends and more about like my personal experiences doing like adventure games. I had a really good time with Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 though, the classics.
Ooh,
those were really
yes.
fun to play with friends growing up.
Oh, 2 was where it's at. I remember long hours playing with my brother. We both had just enough money if we pulled it together that we could buy the game. So, of course we did, and we just sat downstairs playing it endlessly.
So fun.
The Jedi battle one where you have like all the heroes.
Oh, Mos Eisley Spaceport.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
and people would pick the people with pistols. I'm like, what are you doing?
We got laser sword options. Come on.
Yeah, and the Force. You could literally just push people into oblivion just with force push and force pulling.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
That was
and throw the lightsabers.
Oh, that was cool too.
That was really fun.
I was the worst. I got banned from playing Yoda. He's just tiny hitbox.
Game from playing Yoda?
Yeah. Because
he was...
he's impossible to hit. And then when you chain force
speedy.
push and then force pull, then you can...
Yep.
They're stumbled forever. So as soon as I found my brother, I'd yell shake and bake as loud as I can, and then I'd do that and then kill him. He hated it.
I always like playing Ayla Sakura because she was really cool and I never got to like learn anything about her in the movies, so I was like, ooh, she's in the game? I want to see what she plays like. We would play, what was it called? Star Wars Pod Racers on the N64 too, and that one was just batshit crazy. Like, the speed that you had to go at in some of those racetracks and how cluttered they were, it was like so fun because of how chaotic it is, because like you'd go on race courses where like stones are falling and then there'd be like obstacles and then things would be blowing up, you'd be flying through asteroids, then there'd be like a gravity well, and just like no matter what, it was just a crazy racing experience because there was just such weird stuff that would show up. You'd like go through volcanoes and there'd be like magma spewing out from the lava below.
Wow.
That was really fun. I'm trying to think of adventure games that I played though, because those, I mean, I played a lot of like Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64 with my friends too, but I know my first video game by myself was pretty impactful, which was Ocarina of Time, the Legend of Zelda game on the Nintendo 64. I have 3 older siblings, and they would all play video games on the Nintendo 64 and like the PlayStation 1 and 2. And so I'd watch them play games and stuff, and I would have a lot of games to choose from when they would get disinterested in them. But whenever I'd play a game that had like bosses and stuff in it, I would have to give them the controller whenever there was a boss because I was too scared to fight them. I'm like, oh, can you kill it for me so I could just keep exploring? And Ocarina of Time was the first game that I remember playing where there was a boss that I had to defeat myself because none of my siblings were there to help me with it.
That's hilarious.
And I did the typical, it was like the first dungeon is in the Great Deku Tree, and there's a giant spider, I think its name is Goma, that you have to fight. And I did the classic running around in circles because I wanted to run away and didn't know how to confront it. And then I eventually learned, like, oh, I can swing at it when it does this, and I have to dodge when it does that. And then I hit it 3 times, and then it died, and I was like, I defeated my first boss by myself! That game had a really good design, too, to the experience where, like, once you defeat the first boss, you go from just being in the introductory, really small forest area to, like, an open world, basically. At the time, at least, it felt very open world, where you go into Hyrule Field, and then you could go up to the mountains, you can go to the castle town, you could go to, like, the lake nearby, and all sorts of stuff like that, so you could kind of just run around, have fun. I was like, wow, the world is so much bigger than this small forest I started in.
Oh, I know the feel. Did you ever play Super Mario RPG?
No.
Oh, that's a very weird game. Like, as the name implies, it's a Super Mario game, but an RPG. And it's very, very weird, but it holds up even today. That was my first real game that I played by myself, like, almost all the way through. And, man, just the feeling of when the world opens up, when you get out of the tutorial zone. It's like, oh no. You almost get choice paralysis.
Yeah. What console was this on? Is this Super Nintendo?
Yeah, Super Mario RPG was on Super Nintendo.
I never got to play a Super Nintendo game.
Oh, really? Never?
Yeah, that was like just a little bit before my time. And I guess maybe a little bit before my older siblings' time too, because they didn't have an SNES.
Well, it was a little bit before my time, but I had some older brothers, so they had the PS1, Super Nintendo, NES, etc.
Amazing how durable some of those systems still are. Like, we still have our Nintendo 64, and it's still chugging.
I remember distinctly accidentally dropping a very large CRTV on...
Dropping a what?
A CRT TV, like the tubes.
Oh.
the big ones that weighed like 200 pounds. And,
the Mercury ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember dropping one on my Super Nintendo and going, oh no, it's broken, it's the worst possible thing. I look over it, unscratched. I'm like...
Joke's on you, I'm a tank.
Yeah, I think my TV was more damaged.
Oh! That's scary. They gotta be built for the rage quitting.
Yeah. I remember literally throwing that controller more than a few times, being a very silly child, and every single time completely undamaged. I accidentally threw my Xbox controller once and the fucking thing broke.
Yeah. Actually, interesting story. So my boyfriend and I bought PlayStation 4 controllers because they can connect with PCs, and we were playing It Takes Two, which is like a very loving game, except when you play it with your partner and they're always trying to kill you. And I got frustrated and like tugged my controller backwards and like fucked up the controller's USB connection just because I pulled it back. I don't think I even unplugged it, and like that damaged some part of it, so now it has a hard time staying connected. And I'm like, I didn't even drop it or throw it or anything.
Barely did anything.
Yeah, it's like, well, there goes that $40 controller at least. I don't know what the SNES controllers were like, but the only thing I could remember ever being like a problem with the Nintendo 64 ones is the joysticks would get less, I don't know, they'd get limp. They wouldn't like fall back to center when you use them, so
yes,
they'd be hard to use.
Yeah, the joysticks. I remember it drifted down right for me every single time.
Yeah, like they get loose.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't stand up. And some of the buttons, I guess, would get kind of weird. Like, some of them would be hard to press eventually. Like the ones on top. But like every cartridge game I have still works. It's interesting, some of them have a problem with I don't know if it was just like the kind of maybe material or whatever they made it out of, but Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64 came in like a gold colored cartridge, and if you look up any for sale online, a lot of them have cracks in the cartridge, specifically that one. So I don't know if it was just like the kind of like material they use for those cartridges or if it's a general thing that can happen, but mine had a crack in it and I didn't realize that was an issue, but it's always worked fine.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was my Super Nintendo one. Got like a weird fucking crack all the way around. I'm like, no, this thing's like split into two. But no, it's still worked fine. I was like, what the hell? How is this even a thing?
Literally, the blowing trick works too, where everyone's like, don't blow in your cartridges. I'm like, it's what it needs to start, and it always starts, so I'll just keep doing it. Just blow the dust out, and it's good as new.
Yeah. Give it a little tap on the couch. That's about all she needed.
Yeah. If only things were still made like that.
Oh, yeah.
Who even wants discs? I guess they might have more storage space, but...
I wish... discs had more storage space, but they're also, like, so much cheaper. So I can understand, like, the economics behind it, but it's still just, like, the physical cartridge. Oh. Now I'm all nostalgic.
Be nice if there was some way you could have either or, but that would be a very strange console if you needed something to accommodate for both.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then they'd have to like print one or the other or both, and that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I do like physical games more than digital games. It's kind of impossible to have that for PC, but when it came to like buying digital games on like the PlayStation 3 versus having a disc, I'd rather have the disc.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about discs is when you lend them to your friends and they don't give them back.
Oh, or they end up scratched. Like, and then they look at you and they're like, no, it was there before. I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't. Don't lie to my face.
How dare you?
Yeah. Thankfully, there was only one friend that was like that, but every time it was like, come on, man, you can just say whoops. I'm not going to charge you for it, but don't lie to me.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer of if someone does you a favor or lends you an item, you should return it nicer than when you received it if it's possible.
Yeah.
Like if you borrow a sweatshirt from someone, don't give it back to them covered in shit. Clean it for them and make it smell nice and thank them for lending it to you.
Exactly. Nah, I bust his balls, but he is a good guy. He's just the type of person that just doesn't think on occasions. It's like, I don't know why I did that. My brain just stopped working for a little bit there. And I'm like, alright, well, whatever. You'd always pay for it. You can't hold
it against him that much, though.
Yeah. It's like there was no malice there. He's just a dumbass.
We all can be a little bit dumbass once in a while.
Yeah.
I love this game so much. It's so pretty.
I love it.
I feel, how many times have you played through this?
1.5.
Oh, okay, so this is halfway through the second run then?
Yeah.
I felt really bad because this was one of the first games I streamed when I started VTubing, and so you know in a typical like game like this where you talk to other people, there's like a speech bubble and you talk to them and then they just kind of like say the same thing again after that. I didn't realize in this game you can talk to each person every day like 3 different times.
Oh yeah.
So I played the entire game only talking to everyone like once.
Ooh.
And so like once per day, but I missed like a ton of story and content and interactions and
feels. Well, it's a great dialogue that really only happens if you talk to them like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. So then I was like, I told my boyfriend, I was like, oh, this was a really good game. I want to see you play it, and I'm gonna not spoil anything so like we can have this experience and you can like play it for the first time. And then he like immediately like went and talked to someone, and then I was like, okay, keep going. And then he talked to them again. I was like, wait, you could talk to them again? He's like, did you just talk to everyone once? And I was like, oh my god. So I literally streamed it and like didn't even give everyone all of the content of it because I didn't know. Oops. It was really interesting to watch him play though, because I was like just as engrossed in the story as he was because I missed most of it.
You experience it all a second time. That's almost kind of nice.
Yeah. This game does have good replayability too, with how like the concept of you only have so much time in a day and you have to figure out how to use it and who to interact with.
Yeah, and then who you hang out with, Greg or B. I never remember how to say that. It's like BEA.
Oh, hers is really good.
Yeah, her
Oh yeah,
great.
It's short for Beatrice.
So it's like Bia. B?
But it's spelt like Bia. I always called her Bae, and the entire time I was playing, everyone's like, it's not Bae, and I was like, shut up!
She is Bae, though.
Yeah, exactly! I was like, B is Bae. Don't come after me.
You're definitely not wrong on that one. Alright, I'm definitely calling her Bae from now on. That's good, I like that.
I don't know why, it was just always how I read it. Man, I didn't even realize how much trouble I had reading messages and enunciating things and pronouncing words and interpreting messages until I streamed this game and had like such a hard time reading things. Something I really had to work on the more that I streamed. So I felt bad that this was like one of the first games I played and I had such a hard time reading all of the dialogue.
I love reading the dialogue here. It's so, if you add like a certain flair to it, it's almost poetic.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like, I don't know, you know when you interact with like any kind of media and you don't ever really have to think about the dialogue because it just sounds natural?
Yeah.
I feel like this game has that.
It's natural, but there's lots of small nuances there. Like if you really dig down to it, you can see that the way that she stops herself before saying something and then says it. They all have like different I don't know, I guess like diction to their messages and their speech that like you can almost hear them saying everything because of how they're written. She always ends her sentences pretty quickly and bluntly, and then Greg just always sounds like he's fucking screaming. For pretty much.
So excited! Come to the slippery falcon, bro! Yeah. And then Angus is just kind of like in between the two, so like everyone has different, I don't know, mannerisms.
They feel like whole people.
The mom always sounds like backhandedly nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, no, I really like this game.
I think everyone should play this once.
Oh, at least once.
I felt like it really related to me too. Like, man, the first time I played this, I was like, is this game about me? It felt so weird, and I felt like really surprisingly uncomfortable and like vulnerable playing it as like one of the first games that I streamed because of like how emotional I got at some points. Because like I grew up in a small town. I saw the small town change from the moment I started being able to witness things to the moment I left. I definitely had the experience of like trying to leave and not feeling like I could escape. I saw my friends growing up around me and having problems. Like, my mom literally works as a secretary at a church.
Oh,
and so I went to church my whole life, and like I've had ups and downs with my relationship with her. So like wow, this is extremely accurate. And like my dad worked a night shift for my early childhood, and I like never saw him. And so like the dad is always up at night in this game too.
Oh, I know exactly how you feel. Like, same thing. My small town was tiny. It was literally a hamlet. It was less than 100 people. And it was like, grew up there, but, you know, that's not really a town. Like the town over is where I grew up, and that
The one with the postal address?
Yeah. Hey, we had a post office. It was a single room, but it was a post office.
Yeah, my town was like that too.
Yeah, so
mine wasn't that small, but it was small enough, I think, to be considered small town at the time.
Yeah, it was the town over. It was like it had one big factory, just like this one did with the glass factory in Possum Springs, and that one kind of went away, and the jobs kind of petered off. Like, nothing really was going on. You can't replace that with anything. There's just farms. Like,
yeah.
There's no, logging. There's no nothing. You either became a farmer because your family owned a farm, or you worked in the factory, or you left, and that was about it.
Yeah, or like the supermarket, literally, like the characters in this game, like when she's like, oh, have you gone to the Ham Panther? Like, that's the small grocery store in the town. And then they're like, oh no, this place that's nostalgic we used to go to went out of business. And then they're like, oh, I guess it wasn't really that great anyway. Like, I definitely remember that as, like, there's places where I would always go for birthday parties as a kid, and they're shut down now because, like, they lost business because no one was going there.
Ah, yes, the party barn.
Eventually. Yeah, or, like, where they're like, oh, the highway came in, and now there's all these new jobs in this new area of town, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I totally remember that happening.
Oh, for us, it was finally getting internet. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine that was
we can
night and day.
We can finally ditch dial-up? Oh, thank God. It's all a new world out here.
Thankfully, I had internet right away. Though, like, I also didn't have, like, a cell phone or a laptop or anything like that when I was a kid. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was maybe 14 or older. And that one didn't even have, like, texting or internet capabilities. I think it had a demo for Bejeweled on it and Tetris.
Nice. I got mine at, like, 16, but it was, it could text, and then it had a tiny little bit of screen, and it could technically connect to the internet, but it, like,
did you have
very,
the
very
flip
limited.
with the ABC on one key, or did you have the slider?
The slider. I had the Nokia
those are the
Roomer.
best.
When it had the whole keyboard on there. I was like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, I can type novels on this thing.
I had, like, a knockoff LG version of, like, a BlackBerry when the BlackBerries were cool, kind of. I think the BlackBerries might have been, like, a vertical slide-off keyboard, though, and mine was horizontal, but...
Oh, yeah. There was a whole, like, weird moment there where they all had sliding something. Like, they slide to reveal a screen.
Those are so cute, though. I love those.
They're very interesting. Very of their time.
Yeah, no kidding. I think I've heard that there is a bit of a resurgence, though, of some people going back to, like, flip phones. The people that are realizing that they don't want to, like, have access to everything all the time, and they just want to use their phone for calling people.
Yes. I can definitely understand that. I've had moments where I wish I could just put this thing away, but I disconnected mine. Like, it's basically a small tablet at this point. Like, I don't text anybody. Everybody I know is either on Discord or Facebook Messenger.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't call anybody. Everybody's on Facebook or Discord Messenger. Like, I don't need any of it. So that helps. But damn, ugh.
Yeah, I think, like, the only people that I would really need it to contact are, like, my parents. And any older folks that might need to get a hold of me for whatever reason, maybe some older relatives. But aside from that, everyone my age or a little bit older would be able to have something else to communicate with.
Everybody I know, like, even, like, I think, no, Grandma didn't actually go on Facebook, but there was a moment where we almost had her convinced. So everybody else, aunts, uncles, every family member is on Facebook or Discord.
Discord's definitely gotten more and more popular. I think it's still a little bit too difficult for some older people to want to get or use compared to, like, Skype or Zoom. I don't know, something about Discord I think is a little bit complex for
It's
some
certainly
of the older people that want Skype.
it looks more complex than what it is. I finally got Mum on there, and it was like, oh, there's so many buttons and options and stuff like that. And I basically just broke it down. I'm like, all right, this one.
I was overwhelmed by it at first when I came from Skype.
Oh yeah. I was like, all right, this one is like your direct messenger, just like in Facebook, and then this one is like a group. You can see everybody that's in the group over there. And I'm like, but it has so many other options. Just ignore them. You're not going to use them.
What about the channels? What about the stickers?
Channels, stickers, and then Nitro and all that. I'm like, you're not going to use it.
Threads and stuff.
Yeah, threads and pinned comments, and you're not going to use it. All you're going to use is the group chat and the regular chat. So just pretend that's all that's there. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, sure enough, she's learned a surprising number of stuff afterwards. Just, looking at stuff. Oh, what's this happen? What does this do?
Yeah. I don't have a Facebook account. I made one in 8th grade once when I wanted to connect with like one or two of my school friends on there, and I made one without telling my parents under a false name. And then my mom was like, "You made one without telling us?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Well, I don't actually care. Just like don't pretend you're someone else." I was like, "I'm not. I made it under this name so you didn't know I was making it and I could talk to my friends." She's like, "All right." And then I never used it after that. So I've never felt the need really to go and create a Facebook. There've been a few times where I'm like, ooh, but if I create a Facebook, I could like see what this person I used to know is up to, and then I'm like, do I really care? Nah.
Do I actually care, or is there some presumption that I should do this?
Yeah. So I'm glad that I don't use it, but there's definitely some nice features of it. Like I've heard Marketplace on there could be good, and like you can join some groups, but I've also heard really bad things about like private Facebook groups. So
yeah, private Facebook groups are I'd stay away from them, but that's about it.
Yeah.
No, I have it because there's a certain number of people that's the only way I can contact them. Like they don't have a phone number.
Yeah.
They move every other week. Lord only knows where they are, but they're always on Facebook.
Always interesting when you see people like that. They just feel like wanderers. You're like, I don't know how to get a hold of you, but you're just always here somehow.
Yeah.
You're always updating your relationship status and everything.
Yep. You got your Instagram, and he's got his his stories on Snapchat, but he deletes those every other week because he gets, I don't even know what, he's an interesting fellow.
I think the stories delete automatically every 24 hours.
No, but he'd like delete his whole account. Like he would just start again, and he wouldn't tell anybody. And it's like, all right, well at least you're on Facebook.
I have an embarrassing amount of people that I only have like contact through Snapchat for. Yeah, I'm just like, oh well, I would delete my account because I never use it, but there's like 3 people on here that's the only way I can talk to them. So, you win, Snapchat, you win.
Yeah. You've got me. I guess.
One day I'll ask them for their phone numbers instead so I can just delete it. It was all the rage in high school, but I'm like, I don't really take selfies anymore, so like what am I even supposed to post about?
Yeah. I'm sort of like post stories, take pictures of my outside. Oh, hiking pictures. Now that's something that's big on there.
Oh yeah. I made an Instagram to post some of those. I like nature photography. iPhone cameras are seriously impressive too. I've been able to take so many good photos since I finally updated my phone.
Oh, I know what you mean. I went from a fucking Samsung Galaxy S like pretty early on, like 3 or whatever, and I did not want to get a new one because it's like it wasn't broken.
I feel that.
I didn't want to just throw it away. Like, it's perfectly usable. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's how I was too.
It's a piece of
like,
shit.
It takes like half a minute to a minute for a single web page to load, and I'm like, but it still works.
Yeah, no, so, but then finally, thankfully, it kicked the bucket, and then I bought like a 10 or whatever it was that I've got now, and it's like, holy shit, I can...
What was that?
I got upgraded to like a 10 or whatever. And it was,
nice.
And it was, so it's like night and day. The picture difference, everything is better. And it's like, oh, I really should have just sold the other one.
So I had my flip or my slide phone, I guess. So it feels weird to say slide phone.
It is kind of.
I had that one. I got my first screen phone near the end of high school, I think, and then that one was a 2016 phone. We got it for free with like our phone plan because they're like, hey, we're giving out cheap free phones because you've been with us for long enough. So I got it, and I had it for 8 years or something, like a really long time. And then it was just my mom finally last Christmas was like, I'm getting you a new phone. Got me an iPhone. I'm like, wow, it actually works. I was just like, I don't want to get rid of it. It works fine. I just don't have any storage space because it only has 4 megabytes or whatever, and I have to delete apps constantly to make sure things fit.
Yeah, I know the feel. It's like, oh no, I can't take any more pictures. My fucking phone's full.
I have like 2,000 photos, and they're like, well, why do you need 2,000 photos? I'm like, I need to remember it all.
That's why I got Facebook, man. I can put it all on there and don't have to worry about it being on my phone.
I put a bunch of stuff on my Google Drive, so I was able to finally, like, let that phone go to rest and begin doing the exact same thing on my new phone.
The cycle continues.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. How much time do we have together, by the way? When's your next guest coming on?
I actually don't have anybody until dinner at 5. Well, I was going to take a short break.
Okay.
Zozo was going to stop by sometime whenever she had a moment, but the next person I have scheduled is 7 o'clock. So,
nice.
Whenever you want to roll out. I was thinking probably 4:30, a little closer to 5. Give me a chance to play a little bit more of the game before taking a break for supper.
Yeah, that sounds great. I was just asking because, like, I need to go to the bathroom, and I was like, do I want to wait, or should I, like... But I'll definitely go and then come back.
Yeah, go take a break, I'm going to go
be right back.
Use this chance to grab some more water as well.
Ah, perfect. It'll be a win-win.
Almost tripped. We'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I accidentally almost tripped on a cord immediately after standing up, so that would have been very embarrassing if you heard me clatter to the floor. Oh, hey! the light fixture's fixed. I can finally go up here now. Yeah, screw you, lady. Hey, a dog.
I'm back.
Greetings.
I muted one of my mics and said I was back, and then I was like, wait, there's another mic that's muted. Oh, I love this area with the rats.
Yeah. I was like, oh yes, they finally repaired that little thing that enables me to jump over here.
I remember giving the rat like one thing, and then I was like, the quest is done. And then my boyfriend like diligently brought back food every single day. Oh my gosh, we've created a problem.
Holy crap, you're the cutest vermin. Who's the best vermin? You are.
Looks so scary.
They got nightmare eyes, like May.
Exactly.
No, I'm just agitated.
I would do the same thing though. I love feeding wild animals. Every place I go to, it's like, don't feed the animals. I'm like, but they're so cute.
Too late, doing it anyway. Oh, I didn't realize.
Remember there was one restaurant I went to that was like on a lakefront, and they had like a little dock that went out with some tables. It was like, don't feed the seagulls, and there was like a little wood duck that like swam over to our table and like got up and waddled over to us and looked at us, and we're like, well, it's not a seagull. Snuck her a little food, and then there was another sign when we were leaving that's like, don't feed the ducks. I'm like, oops.
Too late.
She knew why she was there. It's Tunnelfish Man.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm
Please stop listening. I always read it like that. Please
stop.
leave me alone. I love the poetry. Yeah, that one from Selmer's really blindsided me. I was like, oh shit. And they go to the poetry club, and Selmer's is like,
Oh, yeah.
I could never make it out of this neighborhood. I see people online that make more money than I'll ever earn in my life of working. I'm like, ooh. Deep.
Yeah.
These sorts of missions scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. I fucked it up like the first few times I tried it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Why is there a face up there? And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that May's hand is shivering too. So
Yeah. I was like, oh
it's
no.
hard to know when you're moving and not.
The first time I did it, I was trying to compensate for her shaky hand, and I was like,
You're trying to what?
compensate for her shaky hand. So I was trying to like make her not shake, and then I was like, okay.
Go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard this lady's whole story.
Oh, it's a good one.
I think she was like, I'll tell you on this day, and then we went there and she wasn't there. Like, well.
Talking about his dead granddad.
I don't know how she, like, as an animal embodies, like, the energy of an old lady. Something about, like, that hat in her eyes.
Definitely the hat. If you cover the screen with your hand, it's like, okay, well, she's just, like, tired or something.
But also, like,
and then you put the hat on.
I don't
like, oh,
know.
no, she's old.
The white shoes, like, when you see old ladies with, like, white shoes and really tall white crew socks.
Oh, yeah.
Or their socks are, like, folded over 4 times, and they're, like, really bulky around their ankles.
Oh, yes. That's the thing. It's like for, if they have a bad heart, like they need to squeeze. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, really?
It is
Circulation?
a circulation issue. It is actually a medical
never
thing.
knew that. Oh. I
Yeah.
always just thought like old ladies were really OCD about like how folded their socks were.
Well, I mean, that's also a
Can't
possibility.
Yeah. Interesting. God, I can't wait to be old. My body's already broken. What is it even gonna be like when I'm old?
There should be nothing left.
I'm just gonna snap in half and decease.
Nah, I'm just gonna crumble into dust.
Yeah, I mean, from Earth back to Earth. Why not?
Yeah. You know, as it should be.
I remember there's one time, sometimes I see old people for my job, and I had had to call off work one week and like reschedule because I went snowboarding and fell and like landed on my arm wrong and fucked up my arm. It wasn't broken, but it felt like it was broken. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to like reschedule because I can't do any physical labor when my dominant arm is fucked. And then I ended up going and seeing this old lady, and she was like, I was like, oh, I couldn't come see you like a week or two ago because I landed on my arm wrong or whatever and I got hurt. And she's like, that arm's gonna bother you when you're old. And I'm like, you didn't need to tell me that. You could have just kept that to yourself.
You could just let me figure that out on my damn self. God damn it.
I'm like, oh great, now I know the arm's gonna be fucked up when I'm old.
Oh, my shoulders already are. No, I'm not even that old, but I have very broad shoulders, and if I sleep funny, it's done. My neck, my arm, everything is fucked.
I get that, like the nape of the neck or whatever it is between like the shoulder, and that just gets so fucked up from sleeping weird and like tensing up.
Yeah, it's the tense thing.
Like my joints crack, my ankles are always cracking, my knees are always popping. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like a Rice Krispie bar.
A Rice Krispie bar, like a bad car. You don't know what these noises are or where they're coming from or what's happening.
One of these days, they're just gonna pop and they're not gonna pop back. This
That's
is
just gonna be
pop and I'm gonna collapse. Take me, please, and my suffering.
Oh no!
Finish
Fuck, I
me.
fucked it up. Oh, god damn it.
Fucked what up?
I missed the jump and I wanted to talk to this guy.
That one is the hardest ever jump. Why is it so hard? They make me work to talk to her.
Yeah. I even nailed it. I just, like, overcompensated and tried to go back.
Yeah. Don't you have to double jump perfectly to get to it?
I did that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because you can't jump on the bucket. If you could jump on the bucket, it'd be perfect.
Exactly. It'd be easy, though.
I remember watching my boyfriend try and get that for like 30 minutes. It's like, there's someone up there. I just can't reach them. Am I supposed to reach them? I'm like, probably.
I mean, you're not supposed to really do anything in this game.
Oh my gosh, nothing hurts me more than that kid just being like, you're 20 years old? You're so old.
Yeah, you're all the way old. No, don't say that. No. Cut it out.
Bad. I guess compared to being 15.
No. God, I'd never go back. And there's you know, those like, hey, would you rather get $1 million or go back to being a kid again? It's like, no, I'd rather die than go back.
Who wouldn't want, like, who would want to go through life?
Yeah,
I
no kidding.
don't know.
I mean, it'd be nice, you know, you get the second chance, all that stuff, but it's like, man, puberty was awkward the first time. I don't want to do that again.
Well, like, would everyone get young with you? Because if not, then you don't get any extra chances.
Yeah, exactly.
To redo things.
You're just like,
just fuck it up all over again.
You're 15 and you're just expected to go back into work, like.
No. I would never want to go back through school again. I hated school. Like, every adult that told me that working was worse than going to school is a liar.
Oh yes, I think everybody kind of did that. You know, they say, hey, it's either going to get way better and blah blah blah, or you know, school is the worst. You know how it is. Like everybody either. It depends on if they were good at school, like if what their experience with school is. And then I had one. My older brother was like, you know, school is gonna seem like it sucks, but in retrospect, it's not gonna be that bad. Just relax and enjoy it. And I was like, you know what? For some reason, I'm gonna take your advice. And I was like, that was the best advice I ever got.
In retrospect, I still think school sucks. Like, literally, I'd have to get up at like 6 o'clock, go on the bus for an hour, get to school, like, be there till 3:30, take the bus home, 5. It's really just like preparation for like a 9 to 5. But then when you think about it, it's like you got 3 months off, barely, and like a week off in the winter. Aside from that, you're constantly there. And then, like, when you're home, you're doing homework. That's one thing, is most jobs, or at least most jobs you probably want to work, don't usually require you to bring stuff home.
Yeah, you just, you end the day and it's done.
Yeah. So, like, school had that, and, like, also the social expectation, I feel like, is so much different. Like, there is also that at work, but school, especially when everyone's, like, trying to figure themselves out and they're changing, there's just so much bullshit that happens. Like, social hierarchy and cliques and that sort of thing. I don't know. Not a fun time, I feel like.
I don't know. I just settled into that niche of the weird kids that kind of lived outside of town, like the farm kids, or just like a motley assortment of everybody else that wasn't a town kid. So there was, you know, less social pressure there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Secret.
I was a part of the group where some of us called us leftovers, because like we had such variety. Like, everyone was from a little bit of a different like background and interest. Like, we had some jocks, we had some bookworms, we had like goths, I don't know, just all sorts of people. Pretty varied.
Yeah. Aw, this one always got me. I remember when it was Possibilities closing. I remember that we had a beloved restaurant that closed. The only one in town. And I was like, oh.
What kind of food did they serve?
Garbage.
Oh, well.
Same as Possibilities.
Maybe why.
But yeah, it's not about that.
I remember our town had a steakhouse, and I like didn't know what the building was for a long time. My parents were like, oh, we went there as a date once, it's a nice steakhouse. And like, I went there once as an adult, and it was like $12 a meal. I'm like, our small town's nice steakhouse.
Oh, well, fuck. There was a one in town as well years ago now. But it was like, hey, I might go there. And then a random buddy that was in the car with me, he's like, oh, it's great. He's got like 20-ounce steaks though. That's like $15, and you get basically just a giant plate that's just a steak. And he says, it's the best steak of my life. But he was like, I almost threw up afterwards. I didn't want to waste anything.
Gonna be hard to digest.
Yes, just like fucking 3 pounds of the hardest meat imaginable.
It's not even greasy like hamburger.
Yeah, no.
Just steak. I'm trying to think, what was I just about to say? I just had something I thought of with that, but I totally blanked. Let me see if I can remember it.
Well,
Talking about steak.
and filling up on lots of red meat.
Yes. I don't know. Small towns are wacky.
Yeah, they're weird. Do you guys have a haunted house? It seems like every small town has that one house that's like creepy or haunted or...
We had a lot of abandoned farm buildings. Some creepy houses kind of around, but Not like specifically one abandoned. We kind of also lived, like, my family lived outside of the small town a little, so like we weren't on the neighborhood block or anything. There are just a lot of not great people there. A lot of people that moved in that were on certain lists that needed to knock on doors and say that they were on certain lists.
Oof.
So like
I had one such experience that turned out they lived directly behind us. Like, if
yeah,
they looked
that's
out their
usually I think
window.
when they have to tell you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no one like knocked on our doors and said that, so maybe they're a little bit further away. But like, it was known, like unspoken law, but kind of spoken law in the town that like you don't walk around alone. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go on walks unless I had like an older sibling or like my dog with me or both. And like, if I ever had friends, it couldn't just be the two of us walking around until we got to be a certain age, because it was just like not safe.
Yes, quite true, Cypress. It was the crazy cat lady's house. That was a messed up story, though. Turns out we moved out of the town, came to a larger one, and they went to go help her for something. Either that or no, she passed away, died in her house, and they went to go try and fix it up, and they found that the floorboards were full of cats, tons and tons of dead cats. Like, they hauled out, I think one person said like 50 or so dead cats, because
Oh my god.
she just fed all the stray cats, and then they would get stuck in the walls somehow, because it was just she couldn't do the stairs anymore, or they'd get stuck in rooms that didn't have any other entrance.
Oh my god,
And
that's horrific.
Yeah, they apparently the whole place was almost what do you call it, William?
Condemned?
Condemned, almost condemned. Like, apparently the local fire department was planning on a controlled burn to burn the place down.
They could smell really bad.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal from all accounts. But no, then someone came in and fixed up the whole place, cleaned it out and whatnot.
Oh my god, that poor soul.
Yeah. Nice lady though.
Well, if cats can have 9 lives, then like that house is gonna be really haunted. Like exponentially haunted.
Yeah, that's like what, 50 times 9 at that point? That's I'm not gonna do the mental
Oh
math.
my gosh.
That's a lot of ghosts. No
It's
one's
a lot of ghosts.
no one's gonna be able to have any glasses of water near any precarious positions for that whole
Or plants.
or plants. Yeah.
At least mice wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, no
Unless they
kidding.
know that they could cheat the system because the cats can't actually get them.
I would just feel bad for the rats at that point, because they just get smacked around a whole bunch. Like, they can't get killed. 450
I mean,
spirits.
That's kind of
He did the math.
wow, nice. I mean, think about it though. It's kind of how mice are treated with alive cats. Those they just get smacked around.
Yeah, not too much different there.
Oh. Our neighborhood had a lot of stray cats too. Or I shouldn't say neighborhood. We didn't live in a neighborhood, but the town's neighborhood that was there had a lot of stray cats.
Yeah, same here. Lots of farms around there, you know, like they can go fill up on rats or find a good place to sleep in a barn or something like that, and then they'd just keep wandering around the town. And either they'd the cold would get them, or the coyotes did.
Yeah, the coyotes.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a story. There was someone was talking about how it's like they went into the Humane Society to pick up a new cat, and they were talking about how what happened to the last one. You were here not too long ago, and she's like, well, I'm pretty sure the wolves got him, or the coyotes got him, and it's like, and that happened to the last 3 cats you had. He's like, oh
my
yeah,
God.
it's really, really sad. And then he's like, sounds like at this point you're just feeding the coyotes. And
What did you say?
then she said, he's like, well, at this point I think you're just feeding the coyotes.
Oh my gosh.
And she just like broke down in tears because she felt so bad about killing all the cats. I'm like, oh man, that's something you just hold inside and think to yourself and tell somebody else. You don't tell her that. That's mean.
Yeah, we had a lot of outdoor cats because my parents wouldn't let us bring them inside, and they would just disappear. I felt really bad about it because I wanted to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So sad.
What can you do? Alas, alas.
Yeah. At least we fed them and like gave them a place to sleep, but like in the winters they didn't have anywhere heated to stay, so I still feel really bad for them.
The cats are pretty resourceful. I wouldn't feel too bad. The amount of times it was like, I had a buddy who had a farm. He had like 7 cats on there that he did his best to feed, and the amount of times they managed to sneak in the house, or we got into the attic and there was like 4 of them up there somehow. Like there was no entrance to get up there from the outside.
Yeah. They would have kittens in the craziest places too.
Yeah.
My sister and I always played kitten retrieval, where like when we came across the kittens, we'd find them in the most obscure places and we're like, this is extremely dangerous. We'd have to like relocate them to a box with a blanket. And then of course the mom would just like end up moving them again. We're like, stop, we're trying to help. We'd like put them behind like a bunch of boards and stuff and be like, any one of these could fall on you. We're just like up really high and like rafters. I'm like, why are you putting the kittens 20 feet in the air?
Yeah.
It's not.
That's not a good thing.
One of we had a stray dog that kept appearing at the church that we went to, and my family ended up adopting it. And she wasn't spayed and ended up having puppies. And we didn't even know that she was pregnant because even though we fed her, she was always kind of a scrawny dog. But we had these old horse troughs in our garden because the people that built the house had horses, so we turned the horse area into a garden later.
That's cool.
But there are all these horse troughs, like 2 of them that were kind of falling apart. And I remember there's a big hole beneath one of them, and I heard a bunch of noises coming out from under one when my mom was gardening one day and I was outside with her, and I like got on the ground and looked under and saw like dozens of glowing eyes and just screamed like, what is going on? And it turns out that our dog had puppies underneath it.
Oh jeez.
And so there were just like 9 puppies under there that are all like whimpering, and so we had to like excavate them all out.
Oh jeez.
Like you could trust us with your puppies, it's fine, you don't need to put them in a hole in the ground. They like cleaned them all up and like got them food and took care of her and let them all stay in the house.
Oh, adorable.
Yeah. And then they were all black wags except for one that was a chocolate lab, which we kept. And my mom said that there was even one time where like a UPS driver came down our driveway and was like delivering a package, and they were like, do you want a puppy? And he was like, oh my gosh, yes. He like, adopted one and like drove away with it, so it was sitting on his lap in the truck as he drove away.
That is adorable. If someone offered me a puppy and I showed up for a delivery, I would have a very hard time saying no.
It's like, yes, I love that. That was really cute. It's a good thing we were able to get rid of them all, because I don't know how we would have taken care of like 9 puppies growing into adult dogs.
Yeah. Oh jeez, but just 2 dogs is enough.
A lot.
Oh. Man, I thank God our dogs are very low maintenance. Well, one of them's too scared to even do anything. Like and until you're right up there knocking on the door, she will just hide in a corner.
Oh.
Yeah, she's adorable. The other dog ended up passing away not long ago, but he was just even when he was young, he was old. Like, he didn't care. He was just like, he'd just lay in the sun, like, 9 times out of 10. We thought he was, like, sick or something. No, he's just the lazy dog.
The kind of dog, too, can really, like, reveal a lot about its temperament, too. Like, there are just breeds of dogs that are, like, a lot more hyper and ones that are a lot more well-tempered. Like,
Yeah.
Huskies are very energetic, and, like, people will just get Huskies because they like how they look, and it's like, you gotta be prepared to, like, run a mile with that dog every day.
Yeah, every day. You can't miss a day, because then they will
And they'll whine.
or,
Throw
like,
tantrums.
rip something up or,
Yeah.
make a mess inside.
And, like, people will get dogs like that and they won't know anything about, like, the temperament of the dog, and then they'll just be like, oh, it's such a bad dog. It's like, well, no, you're just a bad owner.
Yeah, or they don't socialize the dog, or
Yeah.
that's something my uncle. He's every dog he had was terrible, and he keeps talking about how awful these dogs are. Well, we do. He thinks they're amazing, but they just bite everybody and bark at everybody.
People with the worst dogs think they're the best.
Yeah, and it's just like, you never take the thing outside. It never does anything. It never sees any other people. It never sees any other dogs. Like,
So
of course
it's always
gonna
aggressive toward people because it's not used to them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you got to give it some kind of experience here, man. Like, you're not doing it any favors. There's a reason no one else likes your dog, and it's not because they're jerks.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a lot of bad, like, untrained dogs. I've seen some really good, well-trained dogs. Like, my boyfriend's brother, I think it's a Great Pyrenees or whatever. I don't know dog breeds, but it's a big dog that he has, and a lot of people might be, like, intimidated by the dog's size and think that, like, it might be aggressive or, like, pushy, but he has it commanded to heel. So literally, if he ever walks around an area where it's safe for the dog to be off a leash, then the dog stays at his side the whole time.
Oh,
And if the dog ever walks ahead of him, he just says heel and he comes back to his side. So, like, there's
that's good
people
training.
where you should never take your dog off a leash. I mean, I definitely believe that if you're in any area where, like, a bear or something could be there, you should always have your dog on a leash. But, like, there are lots of people who are like, my dog's fine. It's like, no, your dog's, it'll run after things, it'll chase other dogs, it'll attack people, like.
Yeah.
But his dog's really good. He always just heels and listens to him the whole time, and if he ever needs to put him on the leash, he's just like, stop, and the dog just stops, and he puts the leash on. It's like, there's no fuss about it.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely my dog will do. She just gets too excited sometimes. Like 9 times out of 10, you'll heel, go here, stop that, come here, and then they get that one time where something spooks her, or she just sees somebody she knows and it's like, oh no, she's gone.
It's like my family dog that lives with my mom now. She is extremely well-tempered and, like, never got into trouble even as, like, a puppy. She was, like, really well behaved, and she listens, but if you bring her to a park and you have her off the leash, her nose just brings her wherever she wants to go. So, like, she won't listen because she smells something and she wants to know what it is.
Oh yeah.
So,
gets a
like,
little
she
too
has to be
excited.
on a leash for that reason. Rip. But she's like, she would never, like, hurt another dog or attack people or,
Oh yeah, just
you
excitable.
know, be aggressive. Yeah, she doesn't listen when she smells something. She wouldn't, like, chase after anything, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Really depends on the dog.
Dog and the person.
Yeah, that's true. If people don't trade their dogs, they're gonna have a bad dog.
One moment. I'll be right back here.
Sounds good.
Oh, I just got a birthday delivery of a
Ooh!
monster cookie cake thing.
Monster cookie cake thing. What even is that?
It's like a cookie, like a monster cookie, but like the size of a cake.
Well, what's a monster cookie?
Like a really big cookie. Like, you never had a monster cookie before?
I mean, I guess. I've had a big cookie, but I didn't know if it was like a specific kind.
No. It's just like got like M&Ms in it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've had those.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am. I must admit that. But I am gonna have to chew on that for like an hour. That thing is the size of my fist.
What's the best?
What?
Since you were talking about wanting to have some time to play this alone before your dinner,
Yeah.
I think I might be signing off now.
Sounds good. Oh yeah.
Seems like a good time.
Yeah, that's a good time. Before you go, I was going to ask, you were interested in playing Apex Legends? Let me know. I am a huge fan of that game. I don't have enough cool people to
Sure.
play
I've
with.
never played it, but I hear a lot of people talk about it.
I have taught a few people before, so I am told that I am a decent teacher.
Oh, good.
Although I don't know if they're just being polite or not.
It seems like people have strong opinions about that game, because I've had viewers that are like, I would love if you played Apex Legends. I've had viewers that are like, I wouldn't want to watch you play Apex Legends. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I am fairly good at the game, so anytime you feel like playing, let me know.
Sounds good. I would love to collab with you in the future. Just like, if you ever want to do more just chatting stuff, I feel like that's a very underrated kind of collab.
I know, right? Like,
Talking's the best.
just chilling, chatting about whatever. Maybe getting like a few more people down and talk about like games or it's something for the future. Either way, it was an absolute pleasure having you on, and have a wonderful day.
Great getting to talk to you. Happy birthday again. Enjoy your cookie. Enjoy your beer.
I will.
Congrats. Look forward to another year. I even made a cute rhyme out of that. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oop, I'm just gonna really check. I have a bajillion messages. Very, very, very nice. The tremor cat. That thing's horrifying. Hell yeah, fave stream so far. I am definitely going to download the VOD on this one and chop it up and maybe put it on YouTube or something. Maybe do some clips. Well, we'll see. Alright. Oof. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna do one run on this bad boy, and then I think I might take a short break from Night in the Woods and do a little bit of Apex, but we'll definitely get back to Night in the Woods after we return from the supper break, but that won't be for now, for a little bit anyway. Ow! But no, this I've really enjoyed. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the stream. I wanted to do a collab type of deal, but I didn't want to do anything too high pressure. No big games or doing like a multiplayer thing or like D&D. Eventually, though, that's definitely in the cards. Speaking of cards, though, I do want to play some more Magic. Oh, hello. Hello, I know. This is you're gonna really test my ability to pronounce things, aren't you? Tard. Workomen? Chord works. What's Workomen? Workman? Yeah, Jesus Christ, how do you pronounce that? Chaoticord. Teoticord. Teoticord? Chaoticord. Welcome is German. Ah, I see what you mean. Ooh. I'll just let them light each other on fire. So, thank you very much for the follow. I'm going to give you your welcome in, your limerick here. Ah, another child enters in from the void. By your presence, I am overjoyed. I do so hope you stick around, for jokes and laughter will abound. That's my limerick, and I hope you enjoy it. Oh, I'm going to quickly send a quick tweet to Zozo. Ah, that was really good, though. I really enjoyed having those guests down, having a chin wag. Very fun. Oh, that's right, I fucking unplugged my keyboard. Pleasure to be here. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. We're just going to be a few more minutes here, but then we'll be wrapping up for supper break. But we'll have another hour or so. Probably be switching over to Apex, like I mentioned. Right after I give this dungeon one last try. Hahaha. Eat hot death, loser. I think I'm getting the hang of this game. Oh, I say that and immediately get stabbed. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. We are... Oh, god damn it, I wasn't paying attention. Alright, good, we got enough heals. I feel like we might be actually able to hit 50 followers by the end of today. That would be great. I'm sitting at, what, 37 or so? We got 7 today, or 7 so far anyway. I'm hopeful anyway. Very hopeful. Alright. Not hit by fireballs. Whoop, wait, Oh no. No! I can't believe I almost got it. Oh, that was one hit away. Fucking hell. Oh, I am genuinely salty now. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I'm done with this game. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Alright, we're going to switch over to Apex for a few minutes, and we'll be right back. I'm just going to take a bite of this delicious monster cookie cake thing, which I should get a picture of before I forget. There we go. Now when people ask me what the hell a monster cookie cake is, I can just send them a picture. It is so good. Yeah, I know. It is very good. Alright. let's play some Apex. If anybody wants to join me, do let me know. I don't mind jumping in with some rando. Hey, that rhymed. I wasn't even paying attention. Man, I'm good at this whole rhyming thing. Y'all don't even know. Yum. Oh, I don't know why, but I love that emote. It is pretty funny. It's just so happy, excitable, you know? Alright, let's put away this controller. Bad boy. Alright, let's play some ranked. Let's just switch the tag thing for a moment. How do I play? Yeah, I know, right? True. It's just so glad. How do you look at that giant smiling face and not feel a little bit of happiness in your heart? What the fuck?
This experiment will sort out the capable from the incompetent.
Hey, challenges, you better watch out for me. Okay. Let's see if we still got it together.
You guys saw that though, right? Like for a minute there, I didn't have any teammates, and they loaded in. Please tell me I'm not seeing things.
I'm the jump master. Let the research begin. Yeah, we're gonna go check out.
I'll turn this whole drop around.
I say we land here.
I got a bit of cake in my throat. I mean, that's where it should be, but not that way. Alright, there we go. No, I'm not dying. Not yet, anyway. We're all kind of dying, just slowly. Oh, that reminds me of a joke.
Hope you're ready. Let's do this, brothers.
So a guy goes into the hospital, and he gets a bunch of x-rays, and he's getting checked out. He's not feeling very good. And then they ask him. They ask him, they say, what's wrong with me? And he's like, well, the doctor looks at him and he says, we're all kind of dying, just at different speeds, you know. You, however, you're the Usain Bolt of dying. Every time I think of that joke. Wow, there's a lot of fucking medkits over here.
I need a standard stock.
I don't need that. What am I talking?
Extended energy mag located over here.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. I need another fucking gun is what I need.
Here, buddy, I'll put a movie on for you while you eat that.
New kill leader. I must confess, it's what I love.
How did you like it? I thought it was pretty good.
Rock, got an evil shield here. Level 2.
Do I want that?
Standard stock here.
Extended heavy mag here.
Might as well. Charge rifle's always fun.
Optics here. Mid-range, camp out over
Just
here.
kidding, I need those.
Alternator here.
You know what? Nah. I've had amazing luck with the R99. What the hell?
Wish I didn't do that. Glad to hear that, but I did.
I love that scene so much. Spit eater?
Fire here.
Oh, I'm taking that.
I can use that.
I gotta spit the wingman right now.
Yeah, I was about to run a.
Keep up here.
I was gonna run a Spitfire triple take, but I'm gonna do a
Devotion.
wingman.
Flatline here.
Just putting on
Laser.
for the little man.
Gotta hop up here. Hammer point.
Oh, he's got a kid. Oh, I almost fell off the map. That would have been scary.
Gotta hop up here.
Action.
Kinetic
There's
here.
an IMC armory over there.
Yeah, no, that's where I was gonna go to.
Extended heavy mag here.
IMC
Level 2.
armor.
Dibs.
The IMC Armory. Hey, that rhymes. I like that.
I was like, all this loot, I don't know what to choose from. Always. Gotta just pick and go. Gotta grab something and go.
I suggest we do some research in this area.
These guys are taking too damn long.
There's no volume, baby. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to restart it. Sorry. I have a barrel mod. Didn't realize that we took it.
You know, I really like the introduction of the IMC armories.
There's an IMC armory over
They're
there.
really, really good. It's a good place to get decent loot.
We are all outside of the
Fix
ring.
the volume, baby. Hold on one second.
Man, this kid needs, the guy needs to get his kid sorted. We got a game to play, man. We gotta win. I'm here to
Here's
win.
who wants this.
Yeah, whoever's gonna fight us.
Level
Straight
3.
defense.
I need an extended
They're gonna
light
get straight
mag.
mauled. They gotta push us.
Back in this armory. Get ready to tussle.
Cargo access requested. Validated credentials.
Okay,
Alert.
never mind.
Threat detected.
I'll hit the side.
Like this in our favor.
Activating reserve sentries. Activating reserve sentries.
That guy just shoot the guy that was already dead. Man, I want the big man on this bad boy. Take out two of the fuckers without even having to
Override
reload.
in 30 seconds.
How are these guys struggling against them?
Activating reserve sentries. Activating reserve sentries. 10 seconds. Activating reserve sentries. Security clearance verified. Cargo access granted.
Where the hell does this fucking guy go?
Supply bin here.
Call in, call in. Is this one mine? Oh, it is.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 3.
Ooh, hell yeah, gold mag. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, I'm so fucking set.
Oh, that's exactly what I
that's got a lot
needed.
of-
Hell fucking yes, brothers. Oh, that is good. I am feeling really good about this one.
Please watch your step as you exit.
Purple heavy mag if somebody needs it.
Heavy mag here. Get on that train.
Hell yes, goals, all of the attachments I need. We're pretty much done looting. I like that very much.
Feel it.
Just start driving.
Hop in.
Oh shit, but that's on it.
Where is this guy going? Why is he all the way over there? Just hop in the car, damn it.
Hey, let's ride, my brothers.
Didn't want to get on? Oh, that would have been so good. Are we there yet?
Oh, that's kind of funny. That interaction. Are we there yet? No, I don't. Sorry. Just force him.
Here, Nick, if you want me to drive.
My brain just wants to say force of will. That's a magic card, not anything to do with what's going on over here.
See you, brothers. This is my stop. Let's pull over right here.
Hell yeah, let's go fight some people.
Give me my shield
gotta
to
watch
reach.
behind
Maybe someone over there. Watching it.
Sounds like they're in a fight.
Introducing a new variable.
Yeah.
This is a hot zone.
Oh yeah, they're right here. They're right here. On this windmill thing. Broken.
Oh, what's this guy doing?
Push or anything.
Contact.
Why am I falling down this hill?
Protected.
Ah, we got him.
Up with our mobile seals. Always got you. Watch your head.
You can grab our car and rotate out.
I'm getting
Yeah, I don't even know why we jumped out and stopped here.
I'm sorry, I just thought people
It wasn't even you, I was our teammate too.
No, I'm the one that jumped out.
Jumped
Who
right
wants to
out.
go for a spin? Got to hit the road with mighty Gibraltar.
They're all
Under
very
attack.
sit back.
Here, I'll drive so you
Looks
can
like
get
this is
up.
our stop. Jumping off here, brother.
Alright, well these teammates are kind of interesting, but whatever. Let's go get her done.
Gibraltar's got
What I do just really quick,
When
just to see
searching
if it
this
works.
area,
Got a protector for you.
we should conduct a search right here.
Why is this guy driving so damn close to the enemy? We're gonna get burned down so quick. Man, his driving skills are subpar, to say the least.
They got
Quit hitting the rocks, you guy.
Give me my shield to recharge.
Oops, sorry, fat fingered.
Let's get back on our feet here.
Supply bin here. I'm getting it.
Oh, it was right there.
Shields are recharging. Right here. I'm done.
Nice.
Jump off here, brother.
Alright, sorry.
Pull over right
Tap it
here.
up, caustic. And let's not activate it.
I'm recharging my
Deploying the
No, there's no one here.
gas trap deployed.
Tap that shit up, we'll just hold it down, don't start it. Then it'll ultimately
Leaving a gas trap behind.
let it be. We're just gonna use this as our house for now.
We should
We can
conduct
get
a
ammo for
search
running
right
this.
here.
Alright, yeah, there's an overfall. Go get that overfall. Right there.
Bro, got a black market over there.
What how much ammo do you need? How much do you need? Get it.
Yeah, stick there's 3 times in there.
What ammo?
I need heavy
Heavy
ammo.
or light? Okay, here you go. Take all the fucking heavy ammo.
Yoink.
Thank you.
Wow, he gave me a lot of heavy ammo.
We find ourselves inside the next
Yeah,
ring.
man, I don't need
How
all that ammo.
serendipitous.
Yeah, no kidding. Why is this guy carrying around 300 rounds for a fucking wingman?
All
Oh, how many shots are you really thinking you're gonna hit on that thing?
Champions. I'm gonna take a sip of this brewski real quick.
Oh man, he's busting out the beers.
Whiskey.
Care package coming in.
There's a care package you guys want to go for real quick. And then run back.
Yeah, sure. You can even
Right
probably
here,
get a little.
bro.
I are not equals.
Oh, that's true.
Remember
You're
this.
right. Definitely a better idea. Hopefully it doesn't go away right away.
Right.
Never knew
I'll
not
go
to.
stand next. I think it's already gone.
No,
I've
it's here,
noticed
it's
it.
here. Care package hasn't landed yet.
I'm gonna chill inside this house and just.
Someone's
watch
using
for
the jumper.
Hostile spotted.
Here you go.
I'll get over there.
Very well. Independent variable. Getting shot at. Enemy spotted. Fire.
Taking damage over here. Shield up.
No!
it. I'll see what's in it.
Stopped it. What's in it? Another gun?
G7. You want it?
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's
G7
right there.
scout here. Gotta hop
There's
up
also
here.
some boosted
Looking for
loaders.
that loader. Medkit here.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll take that back.
Here, I just.
Alright. We're sitting in a good spot in this game. I'm feeling pretty confident.
Good, I
Provided we don't get pushed super duper hard out of nowhere. We should be just fine.
Oh, actually, no. I mean,
Beware. An enemy variable.
yeah,
This
we
isn't a
all
bad
just
house
a little
either.
bit. Yeah, but we're gonna have to either get that away at some point, or we can do this one. We can have to dog.
There's people.
Thing where you see
Good spot, good spot.
Deploying a
Teammates seem to be knowing what they're doing, mostly. So that's good to see.
tool in my sight. Placing an independent variable.
I see him, I see him.
I changed my reticle to the suggested yellow. We'll see how I like it for a while. I had it.
I kind of attempted to hop up on the roof and get a better vantage point, but they'll have a better vantage point on me from up there. And that hill does not exactly elicit confidence. If someone was on that hill, they would be able to look right down on me and ignore my entire cover.
I just put the 6 red.
So I think I'm gonna just sit down here and be chill out for a little while.
Incoming electromagnetic pulse.
How many deal they want?
Could use some help. Give me my shields or recharge.
Aw, my barrels! Ow. Come on. That's the worst part of getting EMP'd. Losing all my barrels. Oh, I saw movement over here.
They're literally right in front of us.
They're pushing us.
Let's move to. Understood.
Reinforcing my Evo shield.
No, we're getting pushed.
Adding another gas trap.
Shield. Gonna take a little walk this way. Full right here.
I suspect we will.
Stay on the first floor.
Understood.
Don't peek down. Do not peek down. Stay on
Where the hell are these guys?
They're on the roof now.
Are they really just sitting on top of us? Wow, they keep losing their drone.
They're on the roof.
Yeah, just let them go. They're gonna get shot from
Down below.
Come up to your shield anyway.
Toss it
Don't
through.
peek out.
Spotted here.
Black out.
They're
They're moving. They're running. They're running out.
They're weak, especially they get weak. Yeah, they made a bad choice to push this. Oh, I can destroy the walls. That's wild. That's actually really good to know for like plays.
Got him.
Interesting.
I wish I had good schools.
Recharging shields.
These are my last two cells.
Squads.
Reinforcing my Evo shield.
Well, I take it back. We are in a very bad spot over here with not being able to resupply or get anything else. Like, we need a kill.
Right here we go.
Ooh, got him.
Reloading.
If he's just behind that tree, I can't see him.
Taking damage over here.
Spotted a subject.
Wow, so I went down to...
Enemy spotted.
Give me my shield.
One of them went down to the zone. Like, they're very low.
Good luck.
Busted.
He's not busted. Now he is.
Well, one of them's busted.
Dude, he's a tab. He's literally a tab.
Oh, why is that going on? Well, we are SOL lucky on that one. Oh, that was redundant. We are SOL on that one. Oh, man, just running out of resources is brutal. You know, this map is almost like an indirect buff to Loba, because she is able to resupply anywhere, no matter under what circumstances. But everybody else is kind of, you know, in a bad spot, because so many games are grindy, not really competitions on who's better, but who has the most, like, healing items on them
Is that you?
and bullets.
I quantify skill by the evidence.
Come on, we've got work to do.
It doesn't matter who I am, only what I can do.
Are you streaming?
This is your champion.
Oh, alright. This is an interesting drop. We have one other team coming with us by the looks of it.